so we know where you are calling from. We're setting up YouTube Live as well. We know where you are. So welcome everyone, here we are again. This is week 5 of the Spiral Path of Place storytelling series, and how wonderful that we are going live here, and it's International Women's Day as well. And just before I was coming on, I was thinking, well, it's also International Witchy Day, and for the feminine in all of us. So it's so wonderful to gather here with you all. So yeah, let me know, where are you calling in from, dialing in from, remembering to select everyone so that we can all see where you are. And today I've got 5 more juicy stories to share with you. And yeah, let's see where we go on this spiral journey. So settle in and type in the chat if you wish. No chat so far. I'll take a wee sip of my tea and give you a chance to get in there in the chat. And hopefully you've all got something, a beverage of your choice to drink, and you're in a cozy, comfy place in your part of the world. So who's here? Hello, Gillian from Glasgow. Looking forward to hearing your stories tonight. Thank you. Oh, and we have someone from Australia. Hello, Tracy from Australia. And it is tomorrow for you. So it is your Tuesday early morning, right? Welcome. Thanks for being here. Hello, Marianne from Bedfordshire. Hello again. You've read the emails and you look forward to hearing me reading them. Gorgeous. Hello, Wendelin. Have I pronounced your name right? From Toronto in Canada. Hello. Hello, Mary. Bright and sunny Michigan. Wonderful. Sunshine. So nice. Oh, Tracy, thank you to all attendees. That's very, very good. Hi, Amy and Yvonne from Cheshire. Hello again. Looking forward to all that flows tonight. So am I. The stories, the space, the community. Oh, thank you. That's lovely to hear. Hello, Claire. I've been looking forward to relaxing and listening to your stories today. Oh, thank you. Claire from Wales. Hello to everyone in Wales. Oh, Tracy, yes, hear from your future. Isn't that wonderful how the time zones work? Well, thank you. We truly are spanning the globe once again by your very presence and everyone here. So keep arriving. The numbers are going up. And to anyone on YouTube, live on YouTube as well, the chat is live as far as I know, so you can chat in there too, and I will pop over and check. I just have to flick between screens magically. So are we ready to rock and roll and dive in? Yeah, let's do it. Okay. So these are the 5 stories, and it actually brings us up to day 20 of the series, meaning that tomorrow is the last day. But we won't think about that just now because it's far too sad and emotional. So let's go with the stories for now. So day 16 is called The 5th Floor, where all the magic happens, it would seem. So Donal O'Healy, who has a really wonderful TED Talk called The Irish Language and Beauty, has said that sometimes in life you have to leave home to come home. And it really is a quote, and seeing and listening to that talk, it's just a quote that resonates so much for me, and I know for many of you as well, of how we leave home, whatever that is, and we are walking the spiral path back home as well. I stepped out of the room and just knew in that instance that it was time to go. Time to let go of everything that I had known, that was comfortable and familiar, and that I had worked hard for, studied for, and trained for. To step out into the vast and mysterious world beyond these particular set of walls, of rules, of structures, and to begin to create strokes and indentations on the blank canvas of my own unique life. To begin to live into my dreams and my desires. That knowing, it dropped in just like that, and I just knew I had to follow it. And as I stood there on the 5th floor, outside of the training room on that day, I felt like a dolphin without her water, parched, thirsty, tired. This dolphin had to seek out a new and different kind of ocean to swim in. And I remember looking over to my right, to Edinburgh Castle, that loomed large and solid, framed by the big glass office windows. That world outside this corporate structure was calling to me, like the call of the wild, enticing me out of the standard life that I was working in. So I heeded the call. Well, I had to. And what I wonder now, 4 years on, is whether it was the witches who were whispering to me all along. Did the witches of Edinburgh's old town drop the idea mischievously into my head, knowing that I would have to follow? Did they cast their spells on me that day, 4 years before, knowing that I could craft and shape the life and work that most suited my unique soul song? And for many of you listening here today, you've journeyed with me around the spiral of my most recent global online summit, Healing the Witch Wound. You know my story where the flame of remembrance was ignited within me. You've journeyed to the Witch's Well with me on Edinburgh Castle Esplanade, listening to the words of the Cailleach witch herself through my poetry. And you've chanted that mantra that came to me to the rhythm of my marching feet on that day last summer by Castle Rock, that extinct volcano upon which Edinburgh Castle perches. So do you remember how it goes? Witches, rise up and return to your power. Witches, rise up, now is the hour. Witches, rise up and step on to your throne. Witches, rise up, it's time to come home. Listening to that knowing that dropped in on that day on the 5th floor 4 years ago, it was the beginning of a whole new cycle on the spiral of my life. And it's bringing me closer to all that I loved as a child, enticing my inner 5-year-old out to play once again. And it's bringing me home to my spiral of self. Thank you for listening. And I'll share with you the picture that I shared in the email. So hopefully you can see this here. And this is me. Let's make myself bigger, just because I can. So this is me, my younger self, 4 years ago. And this is Edinburgh Castle in the background. And there is the extinct volcano upon which the castle is standing, sitting, resting for now. And I think you can just see in the background that may be Arthur's seat, which is the extinct volcano as well. So there you go. Isn't it amazing as we spiral back to these moments in our lives? And I'm sure for many of you that will resonate. Oh, Leslie, I'm having problems connecting. Can't get the audio on. Can see you though. Okay. Hello, Leslie. Hopefully it can work. Maybe if you sign out and back in again. Leslie Ann, sorry. I'm going to put that in. Sign out and back in, Leslie. Just pop that in there just to see. Okay. The 5th floor, and how appropriate that we're opening with this on International Witchy Women's Day. Love it. Another synchronicity. Okay, we need a sip of tea before diving into this next one. This is called Dirt and Soil. Are we ready? I'm spiraling down on earthen slide, quickly being swallowed up by the ground. Fox is guiding me, doing a bit of digging with his strong paws to help me out. Into the darkness I go. I'm calling out, where am I? I feel like I'm being buried. Dirt and soil are being thrown over me. I'm gagging and choking on this dirt. It's unpleasant. So much dirt. I feel like I'm being buried along with my truth, swallowing the truth rather than voicing it. Ah, yes, eons of swallowing rather than speaking, burying rather than releasing. It's so much easier that way. I feel the rise of emotions, catching in a lump in my throat, stalling there, wanting to cry tears that don't yet come. And then I feel their presence, their warmth, welcoming me. A warmth that is opening my heart and throat as my ancestors surround me, their healing hands outstretched. You're rebuking the truth, they say. You can reclaim that truth now. I'm enrolled on a year-long apprenticeship with Amantha Murphy. It's called The Way of the Shavan, the way of the yes woman, the wise woman. We had our first online meetup a few weekends ago, and Amantha guided us on a journey where I had this experience that I've described above. It was amazing. And working with Amantha and her teachers, it's bringing me to whole new levels of awareness for me as I'm diving into the depths of my lineage, my ancestry, my identity, and my patterns. And every time I hear Amantha speak and tell her stories from her home in Kerry, I feel this yearning, this sadness, and emotions that begin to stir just by listening as Amantha speaks of the Irish who emigrated throughout the Irish famine, emptying out the contents of their pockets and stooping down one last time to scoop up and fill their empty pockets with dirt and soil to take to their new promised land, a memento of Ireland. That dirt and soil that took its toil, that dirt and soil of the land of the ancestors, eternally connected on the spiral path of that place. A simple gesture, a tragic history. That great shame, that blight of rotted and at times forgotten trauma within our consciousness. The truth of those times held within our DNA, waiting to be seen, to be heard and acknowledged, welcoming all parts of ourselves home from exile. And when the time feels right, released. Release the anguish and the pain. You are not to blame. Release the anguish and the pain. You are not to blame. Release that shame. You've so much to gain. Release that shame. You've so much to gain. Reclaiming our individual and collective truths within the dirt and soil of our native wholeness. Thank you. Welcome home once again. Really enjoyed reading that. Hello, Francesca. Loved this one. that was the fifth floor one, was it? Or the dirt and soil one? No. Ah, Mary, as soon as you started to read your story, our dog hopped up and curled up to listen too. I love that. Oh, hello, doggy. Love it. The fifth floor one, Francesca. Yeah, gorgeous. Yeah, it's where it all began. Or it's all part of the path, isn't it? But I love when we have these realizations as we loop back or just, connect with something, some part of our journey. So hopefully that helps you connect as well. Oh, Gillian, I felt quite emotional hearing this. I'm Scottish of Irish descent. Yeah. And I've had a few emails from people during the week that felt moved by that. One person shares that their lineage goes back 5 generations to Irish lineage. But I really feel like it's within so many of us, whether we have that in our DNA or not. I think for many it can be the story of that exile, that leaving and returning now. Oh, Mary, that got my heart pounding. Yes. Let's take a deep breath here. Hello, Renata. Beautiful. Thank you. Francesca, the fifth floor resonated with my experience too. Thank you. Oh, yes, this is the power of story. Oh, hello. Is that Leslie Ann back? You've come up as Galaxy Tab from another cosmos. Here you are. We'll be able to hear and see you now and hear the stories. Wonderful. And you can catch the first 2 in the recording, which will be shortly on YouTube after this. Okay. How are we all doing? Good. So yes, let's take a deep breath after that one. And let's move on. So our next one is day 18, and it's called Smells of Home. Sometimes when I'm out walking, I smell the smells of home. That earthy, mossy freshness of childhood. The waxy, sweet crayon smell of yellow gorse emerging in the spring. Ferns all brown and withered down, adding their scent to the forest. I'm in Inchydoney in West Cork. Needles from pines finely carpeting the floor of the forest, releasing their soft smells with every step I take. I'm in the Dublin Mountains. Walking past a house with a real fire burning, the smell of smoke evokes, yes, that evocative smell of provocative with my grandfather Jim's turf fire. I'm in Dingle, in Kerry. But the thing I miss the most these days is the sea, with its wide open fluidity. Especially as we're in lockdown here, still in Falkirk, and not allowed to travel beyond the Falkirk district boundary, or else. That vast and wild ocean that hugs the rugged edges of Ireland's wild Atlantic way, caressing and shaping her edges where land meets sea. Salty skins of summer mixed with sultry, sandy air, parched lips, burnt shoulders from another beach trip, rosy cheeks and new freckles as we roamed feral and wild up the Bean Hill at the back of Jim's house to soak up the take your breath away panoramic views in all directions out to sea. My most favourite place that my senses guide me back to time and time again is at the top of the Maum, walking up the winding road from Jim's house, the house that my mum grew up in and where we spent all of our childhood holidays. You pass Bowler's house, now with trees poking out through the collapsed roof where cows and sheep now roam. Echoes of how we called to him to cuddle the spring lambs. And then excitement building. You turn another corner and on the country road with a few steps, you're at the crossroads. Leaning on the fence in the middle of the crossroads is the perfect place to soak up and absorb, drink in the magnificence of this land. This heart-shaped coastline, Ballyferriter, the Three Sister Mountains, the sleeping giant island. And if I look closely, I can almost see my cousin's house, which is where I'm off to now for a cup of tea in my mind's eye. Once again, oh, get the kettle on. That's to my cousin. I'm on my way. And once again, they wrap their ancestral arms of love around me one more time to welcome me home. Rooted, grounded, connected. Smells of home. Love it. And I will share the picture that I shared in the email just so you see the visual of where I'm talking about. So this isn't exactly the view that I'm describing in the story, but it's close. And this is Bale, Bawn, Strand, which is the white mouth. Bale is mouth and Bawn is white. Isn't that beautiful? So hopefully some of the threads of that will resonate with you. Isn't it amazing how evocative smells can be? Francesca, love the sensuous details, the plant smells, yeah. And it's just the way the smell, the way the memory can drop in and we can just be there. I love it. Transported. Leslie Ann, love the sea and visualize everything you are saying. Yes, thank you. Okay. Oh, I've just nipped over to YouTube Live. Hello, we've got some comments. Hello, Charlena. I caught the live feed. Woohoo! You're in Mount Airy. Is that rightly pronounced? In North Carolina, USA. Welcome. And hello, Fred. You're live on YouTube. Lovely to see you. I can't see you, but I can feel you here. So lovely to have you here. Charlena, love the dirt and soil. My lineage is Scottish, Irish, Welsh, English, and German. It truly resonated. Love that. What a rich lineage. Gorgeous. How wonderful. Thank you for being here. Okay, where are we now? Second last one. Already, they say. It's okay, we can watch the replay over and over. Day 19, and this one is simply called Roots, or Roots, as they might say in Scotland. So this one, my puppy makes a grand entrance, so hope your animals will like this. Our puppy, Riley, has discovered his paws, learning that they're very efficient diggers. Now that the snow has melted and the ground has thawed enough for the early spring crocuses, purple and white, to emerge and bloom, he's getting stuck into the earth. With speed and focus, he works away in one particular spot in our garden. It's hidden behind another big bush, so I only noticed the hole the other day. His muddy white paws and dirty snout was a bit of a giveaway. He's ducked down to the roots of a particular favourite bush of mine, our buddleia. It was gifted to us by my husband's grandmother, Nigella, or Grangella as we called her, the butterfly plant. And I carefully prune and deadhead it each year back to the next flowering buds. But Riley has reached the point in his digging where he's now exposed the creamy, tender roots of the buddleia. And it's easy for him to reach down with his snout and chew off pieces of these thick, soft treats. Juicy roots to munch on. And this journey on the spiral path, it continues to bring me home to the place of my roots, of digging deep to access those places where some are forgotten, some are rotten, some are tender, and some are small, and some are ancient and wise. And as I continue to excavate my truth, I can weed out the roots that are no longer serving who I'm becoming. And I know I want to protect my roots from any harsh elements that may wish to chew on them or diminish them in any way on this spiral path of place. And today, I filled in Riley's paw work with earth and placed a pot on top of it. But Aaliyah roots are protected once again, for now. And actually, since writing that, I have noticed he started digging in another spot. So, on it goes. And I must share a picture of Riley because he is so cute. He's 5 months old now. And there he is, basking in the sunshine in our hallway. As if butter wouldn't melt in his mouth. And just after that photo, he was scratching at the rug and chewing on the corners. So, yeah. He's a rogue, but a very lovable rogue. So there we are. He is cheeky, Leslie Ann, definitely. Very clever as well. He is precious. He's a blue border collie. And actually, maybe this deserves a separate blog, but his father is Australian, called Skip, and he came over from Canberra. And his mother is Scottish, called Kerry. So when I heard his mother was called Kerry, I knew it was just meant to be. Because I always thought if we ever got a dog, we would call the dog Kerry, like all my mother's dogs in Dingle. But then we couldn't. Or, well, we didn't want to really, if his mum was called Kerry. So we called him Riley. And he's a he as well. The life of Riley. Cute face. He's a wee sausage. As we say in Glasgow, absolutely. A cute wee sausage. So yeah, he's got his own social media account, The Life of Riley Stassen. So you can follow him there if you wish. On Insta and Facebook. Okay, last one. I'm just stalling really because I don't want to read the last one because that means we're coming to the end. But it's just another spot on the spiral, isn't it? So this one I wrote this morning and it's simply called Gold, Day 20. A few years ago, I visited the National Museum of Ireland's archaeology section. The museum is housed within a grand circular building that's quite well hidden at the back of the famous Trinity College in Dublin University. I was becoming interested in my ancient Celtic roots and felt drawn inside to explore the masses of gold on display. Hoards of gold that had been discovered from sites all around Ireland over the years. Early Bronze Age stashes of ornaments and jewellery, some more than 5,000 plus years old. Deep, enriching, warm golden hues, as if they had been coloured over time by the midsummer sunshine. Plain or intricately decorated with lines, zigzags, crisscrosses, triangles, circles. Symbols like those carved into the ancient rocks where this gold would have come from. Every item magnificently beautiful. Within moments of stepping inside the grand wooden museum doors, I could literally feel my whole being humming, and like a tuning fork, I was resonating with this space. Encased behind glass displays, the gold was speaking to me, vibrationally, energetically, humming their ancient songs of thousands of years of stories encoded in their golden glory. Gleaming creations made by ancient hands that so amazingly survived the thousands of years of time buried, preserved in our lands, hiding, waiting until the time was right for when each artifact would be found, revealed, revered, washed, and returned to their former glory. I was in total awe, and I'm still in awe today when I think about it, and I still get tingles talking about it. But there was one item that I'm particularly fascinated by, and it's the golden lunula. Have I pronounced that right? I don't know. Lunula neck collar. The majority of these have been found in Ireland, of those found in Western Europe. And actually on the museum website, it says of the 100 golden lunulas found in Western Europe, 80 of them have been found in Ireland. Imagine. These are crescent moon shaped and open at one end so that they can be worn like a torque shape around your neck. And I imagine, quite often actually, that I am of that era when the goddesses, the women, the witches were ceremonially revered for their feminine gifts and adorned accordingly, reflecting the treasured adoration of the mother, of Mother Nature. There is gold in the landscapes of Mother Nature and within our innate natures. It's waiting to be uncovered layer by beautiful layer when your time is right. Awakening a timeless ancient wisdom that so yearns to be discovered, uncovered, and expressed for these times. So don your golden lunula, even if it's just for fun. Adorn yourself in gold and jewels, and imagine stepping onto the earth and walking in ceremony, head held high towards the cosmos, tall, grounded, feeling the gold vibrating within you. What a treasure it is to be here now, rooted in our ancient, unique truths, so connected on the spiral path of place. Love it. And actually I provided a link in today's email, so perhaps I can share with you one of the artifacts, because they really are so beautiful. So this is the National Museum of Ireland website. And honestly, I don't work for them or anything, but it's just such an amazing place and was such an amazing experience. And it's free as well. So this is the early Bronze Age gold. Imagine finding this, coming across this. So this is it here, open at the neck, and you may be able to see the gorgeous details and zigzags and lines. So that's it there. And this is the Kogelbeg hoard. So there you go. Isn't that beautiful? And so appropriate sharing this again on International Women's Day. Wonderful. So, wouldn't it be nice to get our hands on one of those and wear them? So there we have it. That is day 20, and there are 5 stories. Wow. Oh yes, Leslie Ann, all those memories embedded in the gold. And I'm just amazed by how perfect it is, how it survived. And maybe it is our boggy landscape. So much of Ireland is covered in bogs. And actually there was a hoard found, I read online today, in Stirling in Scotland, a hoard of gold. And that was in, oh gosh, I got the date wrong now. Was it 2009 or 2019? Maybe it was 2009. So yeah, you just wonder what other treasures are there laying, waiting to be discovered. And of course, the treasures are within ourselves as well, aren't they? Just waiting to be enticed out when they're ready. So there we have it. If you have any questions, let me know here on Zoom or over on YouTube. And to anyone watching the recording, just pop your comments in the chat or send me an email. So yes, it's been truly wonderful, and we will have one more, I decided. So there's one more day of writing tomorrow, and I thought it would be nice to have a wrap-up session next week, same time, same place, just to connect one more time. And who knows what else? I'll read the final story, and I don't know, I kind of feel something else is bubbling, so let's see. Yes, Mary, so lovely for International Women's Day. Thank you, Eimear, for sharing these treasures. You are so welcome. Thank you for being here and for showing up live. It's very precious. Leslie Ann, thank you again for a wonderful evening. You are so welcome. So yes, I bid you all farewell and have a drink on me. And thank you for watching. Until we meet again. Thank you, Tracy. Yes, enjoy your day. Thank you, Francesca. And thank you, Fred and Charlena and everyone else watching on YouTube live. Thank you, Marianne. Wonderful. Thank you, Mary. Bye, everyone. Just so nice to be here. And it's over and out from me in Scotland and the long Irish goodbye. See you soon.